Okay, cool. Yep. Can you guys hear me all right? Can one of you guys talk just so I can make sure I can hear you?
You got me?
We hear you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Mhm.
What the heck?
Hey, Harry, real quick, can we get recording permission, please?
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Wow, Pete Christie. Nice of you to join us.
Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm a lot better now.
Yeah, I bet.
All right, y'all should be good to go.
Coach, just right off the top, just general thoughts on the win tonight. Got to be happy with that kind of final, 6 or 7 minutes?
Absolutely. Well, I'm actually happy with the whole game because we grinded, and that's what you do on the road. I think it's really difficult to win in the Big 12 on the road. I think it's really difficult to win in the Big 12 period, but on the road especially. And I thought that our kids could have panicked a little bit. They could have rushed some things. They could have, just sunk their head at times, and they just kept battling back. We had some really big shots late in the game, and some really great defensive efforts as well. So proud of them. I mean, it's our first road win, to be quite honest. And so that in itself is an accomplishment.
Was it just as simple as battling in terms of what was different between road games in the past and this one, or just the ability to finish down the stretch?
I think our team is different, than we've played on in the past. I mean, now West Virginia was different. I mean, I thought that's where we actually thought that I think that's where we kind of turned the corner a little bit with our mentality. I just really enjoyed coaching this group the past 3 or 4 games because they're grinding, they're digging deep, they're being courageous. And yeah, I think it's a matter of responding when there's some adversity. We came out of some timeouts and executed really well. We made some adjustments even with our lineups, and kids stepped up and with some different matchups, and they knew why we were doing those things. We just played really well as a unit.
Late in a tight game, obviously Lexi hit that 1-3, but then you got big shots from Maka and Najee. We talked about it all year. How good is it to see, some of the role players step up and hit big shots in a close game?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, and all big. I wouldn't take anything away from any of those kids because they are all big. But then Tux was huge. I thought Tux was really big, and her performance overall was really big. And especially when I thought that Viv and Lex both were struggling just a little bit. And it was nice to have some help around them that we didn't have to just rely on them having to just grind it as hard as they could. And I thought Tuck was really, really big all game.
Obviously, you trust them offensively, but how nice is it to have these things on tape where you can kind of show, listen, like when we need it, don't be afraid to step up to the moment.
Yeah, I think this team is like that. I mean, that they like big moments, they like big shots, and they're just playing so well together. I mean, they're understanding their roles. Their shot selection is better at times, and especially in crunch time. And I thought in the fourth quarter, it was tied 50-50 going into the fourth quarter, and I thought our kids just were really composed, and especially down the stretch, and got things done.
Mentioned Alexis, obviously before talking about how teams are going to hone in on Vivian and Lexi. So for Alexis, who is also still a good player, how big was that for her to take that moment and really run with it?
Yeah, it was huge. I thought she had a great focus. She understood that whenever they went bigger, it actually helped us to insert her in the line because she could get past them and not have to, really battle them down on that block. And I thought that her little short corner jumper was really nice and it was working. And so, yeah, I thought she was able to play her game today, and they didn't really have an answer for it.
You guys have had close games like this before, pulled one out against TCU, obviously, but just to see kind of that continuity, that consistency happening, how nice is that to be able to piece, two good wins together?
Yeah, we definitely have been talking about that. Like we want to kind of start really building our momentum. I think in January, especially late January, you really start separating yourselves a little bit, and you want to start playing your best basketball in January and February. And hopefully that leads to basketball in March. So it's good to see the rhythm. It's really, I really am enjoying this group, and it's fun to just see it all coming together.
Sorry, go ahead, Pete.
Oh, I was gonna say, Coach, can you, it was such a tight game. Can you just talk more about that 10-0 run that put you over the top and you won by 10?
Yeah, I thought we came out and just executed well. We talked about some things in the timeout in between quarters about how we wanted to attack them offensively. But I thought defensively, we did a much better job of not fouling them. In the third quarter, we fouled a lot and just gave them easy buckets at the free throw line. So I thought that our defense was better. In fact, we had 3 fouls to give at the end of the quarter because we were defending so much better without fouling. And then offensively, our execution was just really good late.
Well, and then we got a note that we might not get to talk to you again. So can we get some early thoughts on going to TCU on Saturday?
Yeah, so another road battle. It's gonna be tough, and after a tough week. I mean, this will be our third game in 6 days. And that's tough. That's really tough. And our kids are playing a lot of minutes. So, we're going to have to really have the right mindset. We're going to have to recover tomorrow and then really prepare mentally. And then Friday on a travel day, we'll have to make sure that we're good with our practice. But TCU is a team that is, they're going to remember that they had a lead on us the last game, and they're going to want to avenge that loss. They have us on their home floor at the end of a long week. So it's kind of building up to be one of those things where we're going to see what we're made of and see what kind of courage and fortitude we have. And I think our kids are ready for that challenge.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
You mentioned getting, this being the first road win, kind of almost like or do you feel like it almost is like it was when you snapped that 4-game losing streak, and that, you kind of got that monkey off your back, and, kind of being able to win on the road? And how much, I guess, confidence does that give you heading into that game?
Yeah, I just think our kids feel really good right now. I think that they're playing well. I think that they have confidence in each other. I mean, you can just tell the way we're playing. There's no panic. There's no letdown. We're playing a lot harder for longer periods of times. We have kids coming in off the bench and giving us great minutes, and you're not seeing a big dip when we substitute. And that's huge. That's huge for us. So, and I really, really, really like the pace we're playing with. We're controlling transition defense better. So we're not getting beat in transition as much. And, we're just finding a way to grind. And our, like I said, our confidence level is pretty high right now. So I think we'll just continue to ride that.
Coach, kind of going off of that, off of the Iowa State game now, you've played 3 really good games, including 2 where you held teams under 70. When did you see that kind of switch flip a little bit?
To be quite honest, I think it was in the second half of the Iowa State game, because let's be honest, they hit 19 threes, right? I mean, that was a good. They were really clicking on all cylinders that day, and I thought that in the second half we really battled. And I think our kids just said, they made a decision as a group, like they did not want to, get beat like that, especially if it's an effort thing or a mindset thing. And I thought that that's kind of what we were battling in the first half of Iowa State. And then to be able to go to West Virginia and just really battle with one of the best teams in the league. I mean, this is a really tough stretch for us. So I just think our kids are handling it really well, and they're growing up right before our eyes and bonding right before our eyes.
Is that it? All right. Thanks, everybody.
So sorry, y'all. My nose is itching.
Thank
See you
you.
later. Thank you.
Oh, hey guys, I'm gonna try to get Alexis Tucker out here if you guys want to talk to her. Yes, no.
Yeah, I'll take her.
Sweet.
Oh, this is cool.
All right, everybody. We will go to questions for Alexis Tucker.
Alexis, just in terms of obviously this being your best offensive game, in the past couple, at least, if not of the season, what was working for you early on that gave you that confidence?
I was able to get some passes from my teammates and just kind of let the game come to me. I didn't want to, force anything, or I just really wanted to be aggressive because I knew this game that they were going to be really keying in on Vivian and on Lex. So any chance that I got to knock down an open shot, get a tip in, get a rebound, any kind of hustle play, anything on the defensive end, I knew that was going to transfer over to the offensive end.
Obviously, all y'all are talented players. You wouldn't be playing at this level if you weren't. But how much pressure does kind of the rest of the team put on themselves to step up offensively, knowing what Lexi and Vivian are going to get defensively on a nightly basis?
I think it's a lot of pressure, especially depending on teams that we play, because, we're going to play teams twice. They're going to scout us really well. So they know our tendencies, but we also have to make sure we exploit their weaknesses. And when we get in, we contribute. We look for them. We look for our own stuff. We make sure we play as a team. And I think for me, I can talk for myself, the pressure is on because I know that, what we're going to look for in the offense, but I always have to remind myself hey, go out there and be aggressive. Take the open shot, get to the basket, get to the free throw line, do what you can do and also help your team, offensively as well as defensively.
Simple question, Eric, but I guess maybe difficult. What has changed since that 20-point loss to Iowa State?
For one, that loss was kind of hard. The next day we went in and we watched film and we really prepared for our next game. But I think our mindset, especially after the West Virginia game, I think that gave us all the confidence for the Texas game, and the Texas game got us rolling into the Kansas game. So I would just say our confidence level really grew, and people are coming off the bench and they're producing. And I'm really proud of Kyla and Hattie and all those players that gave us great minutes.
I guess, Alexis, for you, sorry if you already answered this. I messed up and exit out. But, as far as just like you mentioned, being that kind of taking that pressure off of Vivian and Lexi, how is that? And how do you feel like you've maybe taken those next steps in that tonight as far as, being another threat for teams, not just offensively, but even getting after it on defense?
I think it's really big. Like you said, it takes the pressure off of them, and they're not expecting me. Because, they're probably just scouting Viv and Lex from the previous great games that they've been having. They're not expecting, me to step up or for Mock to do this or for Najee to do that. So it takes a lot of pressure off of them. But, I'm ready every game. Doesn't matter the challenge. I'm just ready to make sure I step up for my team because it takes all of us to win. We have great numbers from individual players, but it takes all of us. And when we were playing together, you just see us, we're just rolling, and everything is really working for us. So.
Is
You
that
guys
it?
have some- sorry. You guys have had some close games in the past. Obviously, TCU game being one of them, and then, Iowa State pulling away there. I guess what is the feel right now as far as just that mentality of, not letting teams hang around, but creating that separation?
Harry, who do we have next? TCU, right?
TCU.
Yeah, so with TCU, I mean, that was the game where we were down, I think, like 16 points. So we got to make sure how coaches say is punch them first. And we got to make sure if we have a lead, we continue to extend it. And it gets hard. Things happen in the games. People get in foul trouble. This stuff happens, but we have to make sure we stay composed and, we get back in with coach and we focus in and we go out there and we do what we need to do. Because if not, then that's how, leads are lost. But this game, a lot of confidence going. We got TCU next. They're a great team, and I'm ready for them.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.